Yo, welcome everyone to a CRL Intel podcast. Welcome to the stream. I hope you guys are doing really well today. Welcome everyone. Bienvenidos a todos, gente. Están por aquí que hablan español también. Welcome everyone to the CRL Intel podcast, al podcast de CRL Intel. We're here with Surgical Goblin and with Endi, the creator of CRL Intel. Surgical?
Yo, what's up, bro? How are you doing?
I'm doing really fine. I'm really good. We're here ready to talk about CRL, talk about a little bit of things here. Endi, how are you, man?
Yo, what's up, guys? Happy to have another podcast going. Thank you for joining us, and let's talk a little bit, about CRL 2023, about our predictions and our wish list. What we want to see from CRL.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to have a little bit of a discussion here. It's a podcast. We're going to talk about every little aspect of CRL 2023. And also, también a la gente que habla español, pues justamente es un podcast en inglés así que pues sí, vamos a hablar en inglés casi todo el tiempo, pero si hay preguntas que salen, si hay cosas que salen por aquí, podemos traducirles, podemos ver qué se hace para traducir la pregunta y luego la respuesta y para que sea un poquito más mejor para todos. Así que pues sí, I told the people in Spanish that we can translate a little bit of things. If there is something that comes up, if there is a question and an answer that needs translating, we can definitely do that. So of course, we're completely ready. And Endi, what do we have on store today in this podcast?
Yeah, so basically right now we're going to be, talking a little bit about our predictions, going into detail about what we want to see happen from Supercell and from the Clash Royale Esports team. And I guess I can start first if you guys don't mind, or...
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, of course, Endi, of course.
Okay, so my prediction for CRL 2023 is we are probably going to see a mix of, I think, the events that we saw this year, so the golden tickets, plus the point system maybe coming back from 2021. I think that Supercell for the beginning of the season, so maybe let's say the season is going to begin in February like it did this year. They're going to do the first golden ticket event, and then it might last from February, let's say until June or July, until the summer. I think after that, we're going to see kind of like the summer of CRL return. I think that the qualifiers in the summer did pretty well, and they were a pretty nice addition paired with the golden ticket system. Regarding the regular season, I guess, I think we should have probably 6 golden ticket events. This year we were supposed to have 8. Obviously there were some difficulties, but I think that 6 was a pretty sweet number. It was the right number of events, I think. It was almost like one event per month, and then you have a week where players can chill a little bit and take a little bit of a, which I think works pretty well.
Yep.
I think it also keeps the fans engaged. It gives them content to watch regularly without a lot of distance from it, which is always great. I think Revel is probably going to host a lot of golden tickets events like he did this year. He worked on 3 golden ticket events.
Yeah,
plus
hopefully. I mean, what do we expect? Why do we expect? Is there any more people that can actually do golden tickets? Because I think we saw a lot of Rebel competitions, and then what do we have? We have ESL. We have what else we have? We have not a lot of people that we can trust to do golden tickets.
Yeah, there aren't many tournament organizers. I think. I think the best one obviously is Revel. He has a lot of experience, and in my opinion, his tournaments always have good admins and stuff. Personally, with for example ESL, I feel like there were always quite a lot of trouble and stuff like that. So it would be nice to see Revel host quite a lot of them in the future.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we can see Revel hosting maybe 4 or 5, maybe a lot more of them, because he's the best person that can host them. There is no better organizer than Revel. So basically Revel, I hope he gets more golden tickets if that's the format, because maybe there's another format. But if it's the format, I hope Revel.
Well, I have one question by the way for Endi, because you said that 6 golden tickets, you think it's a good number, but how would you see that for, let's say, a world finals? So you say that 6 people directly qualify, but what about the other people? Let's say it's a world finals of 16 people.
Well, I think let's see, you have 6 from the golden tickets, then you're gonna have points. I think maybe in the summer what you can do is have maybe 4 or 6 players qualify from the summer qualifiers if they decide to do it again. So from the tournament hub, for example, I know a lot of people like to play in the 20 win challenge, and then you go in game, you have a bracket, you play it, works pretty well. Hopefully they fix some of the bugs which, people encountered this season, but
Yeah.
I think
Also like the elo system.
Yeah, the matchmaking in general is like kind of really garbage because it's like you can face anyone and it's like so random.
Yeah.
But yes, I think it's a really good format. Hopefully we can see it.
I really like what they did this year. I think they surprised a lot of people with the tournament hub. It was definitely a feature that should have been in the game, I think, a while ago. But then going back to the world final spots, I think maybe 4 or 6 players from that. So then we're back to like 10 or 12 players, and then the last 4 or 6 players can qualify.
So basically like 6 from the golden tickets, then like 6 for consistency points, and then the other 4 for like a last chance qualifier, or?
Yeah. The other 4 from that.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yep, sounds like a really good format.
We can have a live event maybe for the last chance qualifier, which then leads us to the world finals.
Yeah, that would be sick.
Yeah, especially because 2023, like we don't have any pandemic anymore. Like it's gonna be like way easier to get like people to host like LAN events. And hopefully we get more, like hopefully we were talking about this like before, hopefully we get more LAN events because honestly like we are getting like, we got like 2 last year, 3, including World Finals last year, so I mean this year like 2022, hopefully we get more because back then before the pandemic we used to get like a lot of them, like every single month there was one, so hopefully we get more and hopefully like more officially from Supercell because we need more LAN events. Like it's always the best thing that can happen in Clash, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I actually just got back from Spain, from DreamHack Valencia, and I feel like those events are really fun, but it would be so cool to see them being like organized from Supercell, like officially. Like I remember back in the day you also played them Pompeyo, but like CCGS for example. Exactly. Like imagine those events come back and then with like LAN events or like live finals, I mean.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I feel like that would be like so cool.
Yo, my dream come true would be like a, I don't know, like a CCGS mixed with CRL with duels and like a regional format so we can go into like I don't know, studios for every region, and when we go to the world finals, that's my dream come true. Like hopefully like they can make a format like similar to it, like maybe a regional format with like, I don't know, right schedule so people can watch, more people can get involved in CRL, and then like, I don't know, like the format from last year, which is like duels and everything, like hopefully we get that format in like in LAN events. But I mean, that's a dream come true. Maybe sometime we can get that, but honestly I don't think that's gonna happen. Hopefully sometime.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day we can get that. Endi, do you want to end your prediction?
So that's really kind of like a rundown, I guess, of what I think. So just to recap a little bit, I think we're going to have golden tickets come back, points probably come back, and then see the last chance qualifier and the summer qualifier also return. I think that it's pretty good from Supercell what they did, and again, hopefully more LAN events, but we're going to have to see, I guess. And then Surge or Pump, whichever from you wants to, move on and go with
I can go next. I mean, I don't really have any like predictions like about the future format. Obviously things I would like to see, like I think the things you mentioned would be like really good. I actually like really enjoyed the last format they used for the last chance qualifier. Like I actually did pretty well in it as well, and I think in general it's just like a pretty fun format.
Yeah, I mean, you were top 1, so of course you liked it.
I mean, no, but like even if I didn't do that well, I actually just liked it because I think everyone was able to play, everyone got a chance to play.
Yeah, and something like good about that format, it's really good for content as well. Like for content, also, it's amazing. Like I actually stream my CRL every single day, and people were asking like, oh, when are you gonna play CRL?
Exactly. Yeah. Also for YouTube videos, I got quite a lot of YouTube videos out of them. The only thing I would like to see like as an improvement for next year, I guess as we talked about a little bit before, is like the elo system, because I remember I would win, for example, like 2-0 against a guy who was like really low on the leaderboard and he had like barely any points, and I would gain like 40 points, and then I beat like a well-known pro player like 2-1 for example, and I only got like 10 points. So I don't know, I think they need to, if like that format come back, which I would love to see, I think they need to focus on the elo system. And then also the golden tickets, I think is a really nice idea, but I wouldn't like to see like this year where there were like 6 golden tickets and then like 10 last chance qualifier players, because I'm pretty sure there were like 10, right? Or
yeah, I think there were 10, 8 from the last one, and then 2 more from the like last
exactly. Yeah, exactly. So there was, in my opinion, like way too much. Like I think consistency need to be rewarded. Like obviously there's always some people who can have like a good tournament and it's fine, but at the end of the day also someone can have a bad day and then maybe they don't make it while they played like amazingly all year long, you know. So I think consistency definitely needs to be rewarded as well. So I would love to see like golden ticket come back, then also like consistency being rewarded, and hopefully they can use the in-game tournament, like the hub, like the format. I think it's good. They just need to work on a little bit things like the elo, I think.
Yeah, of course. I think like, well, my predictions are basically kind of like yours. Like honestly, it's like there's nothing much we can say. But yes, I would love like to have a format that rewards consistency, because like for example 2021, it was a consistency format, and myself I did pretty well there. I got top 25, 1 point away from being qualified directly. Kind of sad. But yes, like we did really well, and I really like that format. Honestly, like consistency is very important in this game. And yes, some people can have a good day, but if you have like a good season, I don't get why you shouldn't qualify. So yes, maybe a combination of golden tickets, maybe like, I don't know, 6 golden tickets, and then 6 people that get points based on those golden ticket competitions. If they
I have one question though, like talking about the points, do you think they should be rewarded for, because now of course with like the, how do you say in English, Path of Legends, I think that's
Path of
English.
Legends.
Like do you think they should reward like the points, or like how do you think like the tournaments, or because I remember like I didn't personally play, but I remember people saying that ladder like gave you so many points back in those days.
Yeah, maybe
because,
maybe
for
they
example,
can like adjust the points.
Anaban qualified like only playing ladder, right?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe they can like qualify the points, because you get like 40. You used to get 40 if you get top 10, which is like way too many points for top ladder for like the first stage. Maybe they can adjust the points. Maybe they can like, I don't know. It also depends on how you qualify, because maybe ladder isn't even necessary. If you do golden ticket competitions, you don't qualify via ladder, so maybe points are like non-existent there. Maybe if you use ladder as qualifying, like Path of Legends as qualifying, you can have maybe like 10 points, maybe 15 even, not 40. 40 is way too much.
Exactly.
And you can like get points if you get like, I don't know, second in the entire competition. You get like 100 points, which basically guarantees your qualification. And yes, I really would love to see like a consistent a reward for consistency. And then also the last chance qualifier, I think it's fine. It's way too many people. 10 people from this year was way too much. So I would like reduce it to like 6 people from the golden tickets, and then 6 from consistency, and then the last 4 from the last chance. And yes, hopefully we get to see like the, what's it called, the in-game, like the in-game CRL, like the August last chance thing. Hopefully we can get like that back in the game, because that was really fun. I actually really enjoyed it. I think a lot of people like actually appreciate it, because it's a lot of content. Like people like to see that kind of content. And yes, hopefully with a few tweaks. Obviously the matchmaking, the ELO format was kind of really bad, but yes, hopefully we can get to see more of that, and that would be my prediction. Of course I would like to see like LAN events every single month, maybe a regional format, but my prediction is that it's gonna be like that.
Yeah, wait, so talking about content, I wanted to, maybe, I don't know if you guys mind, but talk a little bit about content, because recently I feel like, well, personally speaking, I think also I can speak for some other creators, like the views and Clash Royale in general, maybe isn't like that popular. Like I was just wondering, like, what is your guys' opinion on that, and what do you guys think like Clash Royale in general could like do to maybe like change it?
Yeah, I mean, content. Well, of course, I'm very familiar with it because I do content. So, yeah,
exactly.
Really, like, it's kind of an interesting topic to point out, because the game is not doing really well at the moment. I don't know if competitive has anything to do with it. I can definitely like assure you that it does have something to do, because for example in the 20 win challenge we used to get like a lot of people coming in to watch. In CRL as well we got a lot of people like watching the streams, watching the videos. It was really good content. So maybe if you can get like people more people involved in competitive, we can get like I don't know, like the viewership back, maybe the support back. But yes, they can definitely do something, but I don't know exactly what, because they need to improve the CRL.
Yeah, what do you think, Andy?
Touching a little bit on content, obviously I'm not like a streamer with Intel, but we do, you know, the tweets and stuff like that. I definitely have noticed a trend of like downwards in terms of interactions. You know, numbers are not the same as they were before. For example, in August or September, you know, people used to be very engaged. They would really enjoy the content that was produced out there. I think after World Finals, Clash Royale had a peak, I think, in interest, and unfortunately, I just think that they didn't use that peak. You know, they didn't use the hype. They waited too long to maybe drop the update. They should have tried to surprise, I think, because you know, World Finals happened at the end of September. September 27th, I think, was Worlds, and then the update dropped like October 20 something. So almost a month away from it, and obviously, like, I think the changes with ladder as well maybe have pushed people a little bit away from watching the end of season streams. You know, for example, like before when Drexen used to stream, or Morton, like they used to get like 4,000, 5,000, 3,000 people. You know, like you used to see Clash Royale with like 30,000 concurrent viewers on the last day of the season.
Exactly. Yo, last day of season, like last season, it was like so poor, honestly. Like there wasn't a lot.
Yeah, I saw. I think Jackson had like 1K. Well, as you said, like usually has like 4 or 5K.
Yeah, he has like 5K usually, which is insane for me. Like it's insane.
Yeah, I heard some other streamers also like not complain, but just say like, yeah, I've noticed like a lot of times recently that my views are kind of like going down. Also on YouTube, like personally, I upload quite a lot on YouTube, and I also noticed it. So of course, it's kind of sad, and sometimes I like wonder, I wonder like what could they do to bring back those hype or
for
like
example,
those viewers.
in the chat, Anki says Drexen had a 10K peak in 2021. Like
Yeah.
look at 2022. Like we can look at like last season and we see like 1K, 1.5K. It's kind of mind blowing, honestly. I don't know what went wrong there. I don't know what happened, especially with the new format. Maybe like people should be like more hyped to see the new format, and they were actually like less viewers. So it's an interesting topic, honestly. But yes.
Yeah, I mean, I even remember seeing Rockstar and like even Anaben. I know that you know some people might have some drama with him, but like even Anaben was saying like how the numbers were down. And yeah, hopefully now that Rick has moved on to kind of the Supercell creator program, as like he works as a manager now, hopefully he can get more people involved with some new stuff that Clash Royale does. I think that there's definitely benefits of working with people like you guys, like Palm, Surge, Zen, Morton, like every streamer I think that covers both the ladder side and the competitive side. You know, there's still a big, I think the biggest, like while competitive might be the 1%, right, in the player base, it definitely is the most engaged percentage of players, because they're the ones that play the game every day. They're the ones that watch streamers and stuff like that. So
Yes.
I think what's cool to see like old creators get love from Clash Royale. I think that it's also like new creators like you guys that deserve to get support by Clash Royale and get involved with more cool things. So
yeah, hopefully we get a creator code soon, man. Hopefully. Well, yes.
I mean, I would love to see that idea. Like, I think it would be really cool if they, like, obviously, it's not like 100% of the times necessary to like ask us for like their opinion or ask us like what they need to do. But I think it's really nice to at least ask us like, do you guys have any suggestions? Do you guys have any ideas? Because I feel like if we would all like come together, like maybe like as we're doing right now, but with instead of 3 people, maybe come together like 8 people. Like I feel like there could be so many ideas we can talk about, like about updates, about games, like about the game in general. Like I don't know, I feel like there's just so much potential which they maybe aren't using to their like fullest, you know?
Yeah, exactly. They can use the community to their advantage. They can like gather a lot of people that know a lot about the game. They play the game every single day, so maybe they can definitely do that. Hopefully they do it. Hopefully Rick makes a lot of good decisions because he's now the head of the creators. But yes, hopefully we get some change here.
Yeah, I definitely, I think the past couple of months have been slightly positive, I would say. There was a time in the community once where there definitely was a lot of animosity towards the community managers. While I think I understand that people, criticize the game because maybe it wasn't doing well, but I do also understand that people were getting a lot of hate, which is, unprecedented for. I think if you try to give your opinion or if you want to criticize somebody, you have to do it in in a normal way. You have to treat if you want to have a conversation with a person, you always have to treat the other person with kindness and with respect and give your opinion so you can get an answer. So I definitely think that things might change in the future. I'll keep a positive mind because also I think the event in Finland helped in the change of that opinion. We saw Rick or Max or even Drew at the venue for the World Finals, and it was great to see them supporting. Yeah. So
I mean,
hopefully
I've never seen the community managers, and it was a really good experience. We went into the Supercell headquarters, and it was insane. We had a talk with them. It was really cool, really fun, and I hope we can get more of that. Maybe, obviously not offline because it's really difficult to fly us out all the way there. But maybe an online talk, maybe once every month, maybe 2 months, maybe see maybe what's the state of the game, what's the state of the content, what's happening, what can they improve, what can we improve, etc., etc. Maybe those reunions, that could be really good for them and for us as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think the same. Obviously, as I said before, I don't think if we say a certain thing, it has to be changed right away. But I think it's nice to at least hear different people's their opinions. As you said before, Endi, we're not only content creators. I feel we're also competitive players. We also have the competitive mindset. So I think we can just give an opinion on both of those sides, watching the content side, but at the same time also watching the competitive side. And I think that's pretty nice, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, one idea that I had that came up right now is obviously, Pomp, you mentioned them talking to people. I think it doesn't have to be in person, even online works.
Of course it works online as
well. But I think I'm not sure because Clash Royale usually doesn't before. We used to have the sneak peeks and stuff like that. Maybe they can try to have a video once every quarter of a sneak peek, hey, we're working on this thing, or we're trying to do this. Maybe trying to find a way to not spoil things as well is important. The community would like something like that, knowing what's gonna happen, and it also gives them let's see a reaction to their ideas, and so they don't have an idea which the community might not like.
I'm thinking they can do a roadmap. For example, a few games do roadmaps, hey, 2023 is coming, see what we're working on, and then they release a calendar and they say oh, this month there's an update, then the other month there is this, then that. It's a roadmap. Hopefully they can do something. But yes, it's a really good idea as well, doing a roadmap for CR and CRL in general.
That would be amazing.
Cool. Moving a little bit to the CRL topic.
Yep.
Obviously, if we want to kind of give some of our ideas or a wish list of things that we want to add on CRL, and here you can be as creative as you want. Serge or Pomp, if you guys want to start it off.
You want to go first, Pomp?
I'll go first, actually. My very first wish list would be obviously, the tournaments that we have in game right now, they are really bad. They are really not really good. I would love to have maybe I don't know, the tournament hub open for everyone to create their own tournaments in game. So we don't have to go play competitions in another clan. We have the in-game aspect there. Maybe an in-game tournament hub open for everyone, so everyone can create competitions, everyone can play in different competitions, and maybe like the esports stuff in the news section, they can use it for advertising like creator-based content, creator-based like I'm not content, tournaments. And that would be like really fun, really good. Maybe people will get more interested in CRL because they see like, oh, maybe this streamer is doing a tournament and it's in the tournament hub or whatever. It's like easy to join. I think that would be really cool. Honestly, a really good idea. I don't know how it would go into CRL. Maybe it doesn't have like because CRL uses its own tournament anyways. But yes, I think it would be like really good for creators. What do you guys think about it?
Even like, for example, say like a creator gets like a key or like a code to host a tournament inside the tournament. You can, I think, also use it for CRL. Like, imagine Revel doesn't have to do like 1,000 player in-game tournaments, but instead you can have like the tournament hub brackets, you know? It's like, I think the in-game tournament qualification has gotten kind of boring and kind of old. It's always a race of like who gets the most wins, who gets the most crowns, and it's like, we can
it also could be like a public key maybe, and then like it's not a limit of 1,000 players, but maybe who knows, like 5,000 players join with that key. So I don't know.
Yeah.
And make the matchmaking like in La Last Chance, like make it like ladder based or whatever you want. Like you can like make it anything you want. Like that could be like really good for like also CRL as you mentioned, Endi.
Yeah. So like I think that could be something cool. I mean, I think with the new change, like including the ranked kind of mode, I think that gives them kind of like more of an ability to do these things, you know, like bigger what's it called, bigger tournaments or something like that. So I guess it gives a new way of using the ladder format, but I think that could be interesting. Pomp, you have anything else or?
Well, that would be my like biggest idea. I have other ideas, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, actually, wait. I'm sorry for interrupting, but I was just like, I actually had this idea like quite a long time ago about like talking about tournaments before I forget, because I remember like long time ago the 15k tournaments, like you were also playing back then, Pompeyo.
Yes, of course.
And like the hype was crazy. Everyone loved it, like for the players, like creating content. And I was actually thinking about like one day, because the main reason they took it away back then was because of like the money. Like because people were like buying the tournaments and then selling the spots. Yeah. Exactly, like selling the spots. But I was thinking like what would happen if they do like the same tournaments, like the 15k tournaments, but instead of like making it gems, because I remember it was like 250k gems or something like that, like a crazy amount of gems. Like they just give like a code to, for example, each content creator, and they can do it like during a month, and then maybe have like a schedule, and then like you can pick your day and your time, or you can just do it whenever you want. And I don't know, like this way people can't like sell spots, because obviously if you sell it you would just get banned and like you get your code like taken away. And for like the community it will be so hyped, because like maybe every day there's gonna be like, I don't know, let's say at least like 1 or 2 tournaments with like amazing prizes, a lot of views, you can make like videos about it, like I don't know, I think it could be really interesting.
Yeah, of course, like we can do like daily like tournaments with a lot of prize.
Exactly.
Maybe not like prize pool, like money prize pool, but like I don't know, a 15k chest, which is insane even to this day. It's insane. So yeah, of course I would love that, and they definitely have that like capability, because they have that tournament hub now. Like it's working. Exactly. They got it to work. So hopefully you can see that more in the future, and then we can see like a specific feature for creators to make their own tournaments. That would be like amazing. And then I have other ideas as well. I have a few ideas, but maybe not about CRL. Maybe about Clan Wars, because I love Clan Wars. You guys know already I love Clan Wars, so I have a lot of ideas about Clan Wars. I talked actually to the community managers about it, but yes, about CRL, that tournament hub open for creators would be like amazing. And then maybe like, I don't know, the format that I talked about before, like the regional format where you have like 5 different regions, and then each region has specific spots for worlds, and people get to qualify, people get to play in LAN events. Yeah, that would be like really fun, like CCGS style. Would be really, really good. But yes, like those two are my biggest ideas that I have. I have a little like small ones here and there, but like those are my favorite ones, and I hope we can get to see them soon.
Yeah, so actually coming back, like you said, like tournaments, like not having them prize pool. I was actually thinking, like I don't know if it would be possible, but it would be so cool to see, like, you know, for example, they could do like a King of the Hill format, like let's say 3v3, and like Tournament Hub right now was single, was single player. But imagine you can like sign up, let's say like Surgical Goblin, and then my hashtag, let's say Endi, Endi's hashtag, Pompeyo, your hashtag, and then like all three of us have to confirm. And then we're signed up for the tournament, and then let's say like every week, I don't know, let's say like Saturday night, Friday night, or whatever, like any day, anytime, those tournaments are being held. And then with like, I don't know, like it doesn't have to be like money. It could be like maybe like a cash cup with money, but it could also be maybe, I don't know, like exclusive emotes, maybe like some banner, maybe, I don't know, like anything. I feel like they have so much potential.
They can give like anything and people will play. If it's like
exactly,
prize,
like imagine how fun it would be to make like a team of 3 players. And then see how many people, like anyone can sign up. Like it's a tournament hub, anyone can sign up.
Yeah.
And then let's say at the end of the day, there's for example 500 teams signed up, and then it's a bracket of 128 teams, and you just play like a 3v3 King of the Hill, like just a normal format. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like just they have so much potential, and I don't know. They're not like testing it out, or like they could just experiment with it. You know, like it doesn't have to be perfect like right away, but they could like try so many things with the tournament hub. Like it doesn't have to be single player as well.
There's so many things that they can do, honestly. Like team format is King of the Hill. That's a really amazing idea. I didn't think about it before. It's a really good idea. Honestly, like it's a lot of potential that they have there. I hope in 2022 we get to see like some of that potential come out. And yes, really good idea from Surgical. Andy, do you have something?
I mean, man, do I have something. I have a few. You know, I mean, number one, like wish would be, you know, Supercell taking control of CRL. I think in an ideal world, Rebel doesn't have to host 5 tournaments a year. You know, as he's good at it. Don't get me wrong. And like, I don't mean anything bad, but like, it's always better when Supercell does the tournaments themselves. Or for example, they hire a company called Esports Engine. They are the organizer which dealt with CRL 2021. They're also the organizer which I think dealt with the admin side for this year's like summer qualifiers and like you know, the in-game qualifiers in stage 5. The people, Miss X, I guess. He works there. So I think maybe talking with Esports Engine again. I know that it is pretty expensive to maybe work with them, but I think if Supercell is serious about CRL returning to a good esports again, because I think that after Worlds, people definitely felt that like it could do well again. The numbers were better this year.
The hype after Worlds was insane. Like a lot of people were like hyped up. I was hyped up as well. Like I was saying like, oh, I'm gonna compete. I'm gonna like play a lot of comps to like come back to my level, because Worlds was such a good event. Like it was such a good event, and they need to use that hype for their advantage.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think maybe them organizing CRL again, like themselves, would be the best thing, you know. But like, I understand maybe if this year they need to take another. I don't know what word to use, so I'm gonna say break. If anybody's watching this, then it's like from the CR team. I don't mean anything negative, but like, I don't know if they have to focus on other things. It's understandable, and you know, Rebel has to deal with CRL. That's fine. I would like, if that happens, for Rebel to maybe get hired by Supercell, you know, so that he has like more power, I guess, in his hands, and he can do more cool things. But then another idea which I had, which I actually tried to give to the esports team with CR, is like, you guys know how in Brawl Stars they have like their challenge where you play like I think an in-game challenge at first, you qualify, and then you play an in-game bracket inside the game. So this is kind of similar to Surgical's idea, but I would think maybe having, for example, like in the tournament hub, you can sign up with like 3. So Surgical, myself, Pompeyo, this is our team. We enter the hashtag, we enter, pretty cool. Maybe we can compete in like a 20 win challenge, right? Or a 12 win challenge. Every player has to get 20 wins so they can compete in the tournament hub. Okay, very cool. we do that. And then you enter, you have like your team with 3 players, and you play King of the Hill, or you play 1v1, or you play like the old CRL format, 2v2, King of the Hill, 1v1, right? So I think this can also be a way to not only use a tournament hub again, but to also playtest the team events without CRL officially being like with teams, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because also, I know that the esports team likes team events. I mean, we had three team events, or like 2 team events, my bad, in the off season with KOTH Cup and Legends. So I think that definitely, you know, doing teams in like an unofficial way, so it's not like the main CRL. I think this could be cool. I think that the community is gonna like it. And it also solves the 2v2 problem, right? People like 2v2, so maybe it could be something cool. Which
I love 2v2 actually. So you can
Yeah,
make
same.
like a 2v2 tournament. Maybe like you can test like every single format they can think of in that tournament hub. So like that's
Yeah,
the
exactly.
first step they can do, and then they can like test, I don't know, 2v2, King of the Hill, and maybe a team event competition or something. Not official from Supercell because they said that teams are not gonna come back, but like maybe like weekly cups or monthly cups, like from community or from themselves, but like not in CRL. That's a really amazing idea actually, and they can like test every single format they can use.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it doesn't have to be the same every week. Like, for example, me, I took like a break of Clash, and then I had a time like playing and competing in Fortnite. And they have, for example, like, let's say like Wednesday night, solo Cash Cup. For example, Saturday, there's like duo, trio, like squads. Like, I don't know, you can do so many things.
Yeah, I think
and you
that
can just like change it up, you know?
the
Like, it doesn't have to be always 3 versus
Yeah.
3 or always like solo. Like,
Yeah, the Fortnite format is actually like really good. Like they can copy it like directly, because I think like you played Fortnite way more than me. There's like weekly or daily cups, right?
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, they can do that with Tournament Cup. Like they can like open like daily cups with 1v1, then do like.
And also, like, imagine the amount of content you can make. Like, for example, let's say like you and me, Pompeyo.
Yeah.
We say like, okay, Saturday night there's a duo cup. Let's play. Like, it's, for example, a format where first we gotta play a 2 versus 2. After that, it's a King of the Hill. For example, 2 versus 2 King of the Hill, or maybe even with a revive, or just a dual set. Like, there's so much things you can do.
Yeah, I mean,
and imagine the
it's
amount
insane.
of content we can create about it. Like, we can like play it on stream. We can make a YouTube video. Like,
Exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah, and people really hyped like, oh, Saturday
course.
there's a duo cup and he's gonna play with this guy, and that's
Exactly,
that's
and you can
amazing for
change it
content,
around.
yeah.
Like, for example, this Saturday I play with you, maybe next Saturday with Endi, maybe next Saturday with Rockstar. Like, I don't know, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So a really good idea, honestly. Like, hopefully we can get like that level of like esport to Clash Royale, because right now the only competitions are like CRL and maybe like the community events, which are like once every month. But yes, like we hopefully we can get like some of those things. And by the way, people were asking a little bit in the chat if CRL from CRL teams are coming back. They are not coming back. They confirmed CRL teams is not coming back. So this is like kind of a solution to that problem, because teams are not coming back like officially to CRL. Maybe they can do it unofficially. That's what we're talking about, chat.
Yeah, I mean, we can touch a little bit on the teams subject, because I think every single time that there's a post by a Revel or anyone in the community, at least one comment is going to say like CRL teams to be back. So, I mean, you guys both competed in it. From an outsider point of view, and I think like this is the most honest answer that the community can get. Some teams were definitely, you know, not as good as others. So for example, orgs like Liquid or SK or Tribe or Chivas, Queso, they definitely invested a lot in Clash Royale, right? They wanted the game to succeed. They were passionate about their rosters. They treated the players well. But you know, some other orgs were not like that. And I think for a lot of people that don't know, Supercell used to pay, you know, a stipend. It's called in esports, or I think in the business world, where basically Supercell gave us, you know, selected amount of money to the teams before the season began, I think, and then the teams had to use that money to pay the players, to, you know, provide food, to provide equipment, to housing and stuff like that. So that is kind of where the not sustainable part comes in. Supercell basically did not want to pay the teams anymore because it was a lot of money and it wasn't going that well. So I think that's kind of like a clear, or like clearing a little bit of the air regarding CRL teams, because I'm not sure how many people know that. But yeah, I think that there's definitely like teams could exist in Clash Royale again, but maybe the unofficial way, like through the tournament hub, right? So it would have to be teams signing players without Supercell providing them an amount of money to do so. And you know, we've one rumor that Intel has shared is like Luminosity, which is an organization from North, is looking into coming into Clash Royale and, you know, signing Clash Royale players from North America. So
well, that's actually nice. Actually, that speaks like a lot of like good things from like Clash. Like if they see like a Luminosity joining Clash, maybe people are more hyped. But yes, we need like to change the format, get Tournament Hub working and everything, because right now Clash Royale doesn't have a lot of competition. So if Luminosity comes back, like what are they gonna play? They're gonna play CRL and that's about it. Maybe they.
Yeah, I mean, also like talking about like the money you said, like for example that it didn't go that well. For example, with teams, I feel like back in the days, people also told them, but I feel like they could have done much more things like with esports. Like for example, you know how there's, for example, emotes or banners or like even like a clan badge. Like I feel like if they included like esports teams, or maybe you can buy like a specific emote or like anything. Like I remember in other games, I don't know like exactly what game, I think it was like Dota or something like that, where they brought out like a special pack, like a special offer, and then all the money earned like went into the prize pool of that event, or like of that league.
You know where they did this? Supercell did this in Brawl Stars already. They released a few emotes from different teams in Brawl Stars.
Like imagine they did it with Clash Royale. Like I feel like so many people, like if it's a good offer, like so many people would buy it. If it's a good emote, so many people would buy it. And also like to support your esport team. Like imagine there would be like, I don't know, like for example in my case like Team Liquid, like emotes or banners or anything. I feel like a lot of people, including me and like Liquid fans, would buy it. And it could help like the competition, it could help the teams. Like it's just a win-win situation like for everyone, you know?
yeah, I mean, I'm gonna, you know, drop a little intel bomb. So this idea was obviously thought of from the esports team or the Clash Royale team to be involved in the teams format of CRL. A big issue with that though is that, like, number one, I think no Supercell game had obviously done this before, so they didn't know how it would go out. And also a problem when buying in-game offers is that, like, for iOS, Apple I think takes like 30% of the fee. So I think at the end of the day, Clash Royale team kind of said that, like, we might do this, but it's not gonna be like hundreds of thousands of dollars for the teams. You know, it might just be like a couple $1,000s, which at the end of the day, like, that amount of money just plays for like one player's salary. My bad. So like,
I mean, talking about Clash Royale, I don't think we talk about thousands of dollars. I mean, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not wrong, like they make so much money, like with offers and stuff like that. So I don't see like how that would be a problem. Obviously, I stand that maybe not 100% sure, or like 100% of all the money would go like towards the prize pool. But imagine even if it's like a 50%, I feel like it could be such a huge impact.
I mean, like a few minutes can go a long way, especially with like how much Clash wins anyways, because like, you know, every single, like a lot of people buy the pass every single month, and that's a lot of money. And there's like millions of players playing Clash Royale, so like I think there's definitely gonna be some people like playing and, you know, buying the offers that like are the emotes from the teams or whatever, like the tower skins or anything they want to like release from the teams. And it's a lot of money, like even if it's like 50% and minus 30 from the Apple store or something, like I still think it's a lot of money and they can definitely try it.
I mean, to play devil's advocate here though, I am siding with the Clash Royale team for once.
Okay.
I'm not a hater.
You're not a hater, let's go.
Please don't ban me. Basically, disclaimer, I have to use them. But I mean, what happens if a team got an offer though, and then you like, what's it called? They just left the Clash Royale league. Like that was another worry I know of. Like for example, in 2019, Fnatic was in CRL, and then in CRL 2020, Fnatic left. the Clash Royale League. So a worry with the team was like, okay, but what are we gonna do with that emote, right? Because number one, it's kind of awkward if you just say like, okay, well, you're gonna remove that emote, but then you have to go back to refunding everybody, and then like, how are you gonna deal with the money situation between the org and Supercell? You know, and also like, say you don't want to remove the emote, so even if the org left CRL, you still keep the emote. What if the org doesn't want to be associated with Supercell anymore, and they don't want to give rights to the branding? That is like also
Like, I don't know, I feel like maybe it's a wrong like example, but imagine like with any other sport, like let's say you're a huge fan of like, I don't know, let's say like a sports like club or anything, you know, like just anything. Like you buy a shirt at that time, and then later like one of your favorite players leaves the team. Like you're just gonna have that shirt like as a reminder. Like I feel like in Clash it could maybe be the same. Like obviously maybe the esports team is not gonna compete anymore, but in the moment like they did, so why not have that memory, you know? Yeah, and then talking about like the things like he doesn't want to associate with, like just have them like sign for it, like just like legally have them agree. And if they don't want, I guess like either they don't compete or they just don't like get those emotes, no? But I don't know, I don't think anyone would say, nah, I don't want to be like included in that project, you know? I think everyone would be open for that.
I think it's weird because also like, how do you pay the percentages though? Because like Team Liquid,
it just goes to the price pool. Like it's not like, for example, if Liquid sells like 1,000 tower skins and Chivas sells 800, like it's not like Liquid is gonna get more because they got more bytes. Like it's just gonna go directly to the price pool, and then the price pool is gonna get like divided in the way they want to divide it. Like either if it's 1 million or 2 million, like for example, first gets like X amount of percentage, etc., etc. Like I don't think you need to like specifically give like one team like an amount, like a percentage, just because they maybe sold more like tower skins or maybe more emotes or whatever, you know? Like I think it just goes like directly to the prize pool to help the league and to help the teams and also to help Clash Royale in general.
Yes, exactly. Especially like,
I don't like,
okay, Endi, go
if like I don't know if the orgs would be like, okay, you can use our image in the game and you can use our brand, but we don't get any of the money. Like it goes to the prize pool. Because like theoretically, like in esports, organizations don't make a lot of money from prize pools. Like it's usually like a 90 to 10% share and like, or 100 to 0 to the players, and like they make money from like brand deals or stuff like that. But like I don't really know. Like I like the crowdfunding thing where it's like you buy an offer and it goes to the prize pool. I even told them like last year that they should have done it. Yeah. I think it is like a good way, and like they could just do like a CRL. You know how the CRL emote is in the game for like the first CRL, which Samuel and Lucas love to use.
I mean, every single top ladder player loves to use it, not only them.
I think maybe an emote could be released, and then like that, the money from that offer, like 50%, can go to this year's prize pool. I think that could work in a better way, because.
Yes, of course.
They do it in Brawl Stars, so I don't see any reason why to not.
Exactly. They already did it in Brawl Stars, so if they already did it, they have a way to do it here as well. So maybe that's not like a really big excuse, because they already did it in one game. I don't know how are they gonna do it if like one of their teams like leaves in Brawl Stars, for example, the example that you said. If one of their teams leaves, maybe like they already signed a contract saying like the emote is gonna remain there forever or something, because it's really difficult to, you know, like refund everyone and do all of that stuff. So yes, I think like legally they can do it, definitely. They already did it in Brawl Stars, so why not in Clash Royale as well? But of course this means like teams coming back and everything, so yeah, it's like I think it's kind of 2 years too late to talk about this, but hopefully like next year with Luminosity coming back, as you said, Endi, and maybe a few more teams coming back, plus the already existing teams like Chivas, Liquid, etc. Maybe we can have something like that. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, last thing I want to say about the topic, unless you guys want to talk more about it, like you said, like some teams have like 100-0 contracts, like where the player gets everything. I don't think, well, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think like any of like big organizations will do that. Like I don't think it's a thing like in esports. Like it would happen. So I think like if they end up doing the crowdfunding where like for example offers or anything like goes to like a prize pool, Like I think most of the teams, the most like general thing in esports would be like 80-20. I think like the teams usually do that. So I guess like teams will benefit, and also just the fact that they like see them like in game, like for example a tower skin, like clan, emote or anything. It also helps them, you know. Like it's not all about the money, but also like the public image and like the how to say, like the ¿cómo se dice publicación?
I don't know, actually, I don't know.
I don't know, just like being more public, I guess. I don't know how to say that.
Publicity.
Publicity, yeah.
Yeah, publicity, of course.
Yeah, so, but yeah, you know, it's unfortunate, right? I think the saddest thing about finding this out is that like, I obviously had this question in mind and like meeting the people in Finland and talking about them. Like, it was sad to hear that like, oh yeah, we thought of it, but we didn't decide to do it for Clash Royale. You know, I've kind of said it, like I think Brawl Stars kind of looked at what Clash Royale did, right and wrong, and they kind of chose between that. Like, for example, for their esports, they didn't launch like a CRL like we did, you know, where like they had a lot of major orgs. They said like, hey, if you want to compete in like Brawl Stars, you have to sign a team, and you have to deal with them. You don't deal with us, and it's worked out for them pretty well. You know, like they beat the world record. Or I don't know if it's definitely not the world record, but they beat the previous like Clash Royale record for viewership that we had in the 2018 World Finals.
Yeah.
I think they had like 381,000, and CR has like 364.
That's insane, actually. Insane viewership.
Yeah. So like, it definitely was sad to hear, but I think that still, even if the future isn't teams, solo can still work as long as Supercell you know, commits to make an esports work, you know?
Yeah,
it can't be. I hate to say it, but it cannot be like a PR move of like them saying to their like shareholders or something like that, like, hey, listen, we have an esports league where people can compete, but like when you look into it and you take some time, you see like the ESL issues with the organizers and like all of those kind of things, you know, like that hurts the community. So it definitely, you know, it definitely has to change. But kind of moving on, I mean, should we do some viewer questions or like a wish list? If like any predictions that they have, we can talk about
maybe
it.
If the viewers have something
sure.
to say in the chat, you can talk like anything you want to see in CRL, anything you want to see in the game next year, any wish list that you have, alguna cosa que quieran en el juego, no sé, algo que quieran para CRL, lo que quieran ver el próximo año, qué es lo que más quisieran ver, y platicamos un poquito sobre eso. We can talk about it a little bit. So guys in the chat, you can like say anything. CRL locations, what do you mean? Like CRL LANs, CRL y live events? 2v2, well, Justin says 2v2. Hopefully we can get 2v2 competitions, but I think the only way getting those are like from the tournament hub. So like all of that, I mean,
even if it's not competitions, imagine like, I don't know, like a challenge for fun. Like sometimes there were challenges, but like bigger challenges, or even like a global tournament,
a 20
or
win 2v2
something
challenge.
like that. Exactly, like
really,
imagine
really
like the amount of streams, amount of like, obviously always I'm talking about content because I'm usually focused on content, but also like talking about casual players, like friends and just people in general. I feel like would enjoy it a lot, like besides the content part, you know.
They want Drexen as caster of CRL. Well, that's more like a different topic.
Unfortunately,
we don't talk about casters.
Yeah, don't have the power.
Yeah, we don't have the power to do that, but maybe we can have different casters for different events, hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, the CRL locations is like, I like the idea that you have, Pompeyo, like region events, you know, like region, like CCGS.
Yeah, because it's really good. You know why? Because people like watch like their region with their own like time zone. Because for example, CRL this year was like everything was like at 9 p.m. 10 a.m. 9 a.m. for like LATAM, and there's barely anyone playing like at that time. So if you do like regional things, you can have Europe at like, I don't know, like 6, 7, 8 p.m. for Europe. You can have LATAM for 6, 7, 8 p.m. LATAM, and you can have like NA and a different like time zone, and that's really good for content and really good for the players as well.
Yeah, like what I want to say, like it used to be like that. Like I remember in CCGS, like there was CCGS like Europe, LATAM, etc. North America. Like, I don't know. I think if they do it like that, it will be really cool because, as you said, like for you it was like way too early. But then also, like for example, Sandbox, I talk with him sometimes, and like he says all the competitions were always at like for example 2, 3 a.m. or sometimes even later, like 5, 6 a.m., which is like crazy. Like imagine there would be like region tournaments. I think it will be way better for everyone and also for like viewers because, as you said, like I don't think many people from LATAM is gonna wake up at 8 a.m. to watch like for example like the tournament. Of course, if it's like a more like better time, like people would watch it as well like more often, I feel like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's a big issue for like the CRL in general. Like, time zones are really difficult to adjust for every single player because it's a global event. So maybe making it regional, it's really good. Like it's a really good idea, honestly. Like CCGS style. You can even have LAN events because if it's regional, it's easier to fly people into a studio in the region. And I think they had it figured out in 2017. So why not like go 5-6 years ago and do the same thing?
Yeah, I mean, I remember in CCGS, like they flew me out to, I think it was Germany, where like all the European CCGS players went like together, and it was so nice. Like the experience is nice. I remember the viewership back in the days were also like really good. So I think it would be really cool, you know,
I mean, and
to see like something like that.
And in this day and age where like everyone streams, like it would be really good for content. Imagine you streaming in the, I don't know, like one game before the event, is streaming with everyone in like, I don't know, maybe Germany or in the case of LATAM in Brazil or wherever they want to host it. You can stream like everyone, you can have a lot of content. It will be a really fun idea, really good idea. They need to like obviously do a format like dual format and whatever, but like yes, I think that's really important for CRL if they want to go even further.
Yeah, I think like, but that goes back to like the commitment thing though that we were talking about. Like, you know, in 2017 they definitely were committed to pushing CCGS and Clash Royale Esports to doing well. And I think like if we want to, like regional events take a lot of like work to happen, you know, because now you don't have like one team dealing with every player in the world. You need to have select teams, and like as we know with Clash Royale, they kind of like to work with like small divisions, small groups of teams instead of working with, like maybe with a big team. But maybe they can have small teams over every region, you know. You never know, man. You never know. There's definitely. I think that the community and the viewers have a lot of great ideas.
Yeah.
You know, they have to be listened, and I think that they have been listened a little bit this season. That's why personally I'm optimistic about CRL 2023.
Yeah, hopefully they get the commitment, of course. That's the very first thing that matters, because if they're not committed, they are not going to do much about it. Hopefully there's commitment from the team. But yes.
What do you guys think if it would be like a format where like people can draft, like let's say the thing we said like about the World Finals, where like for example there's like 6 golden tickets, like a last chance qualifier and stuff, and then instead of like those 16 players like having them play a World Finals as a solo player, like maybe instead of 16 players like have like 32 or I don't know how much, and make it like a draft, or I don't know like how it would be announced, like basically like the Desafio, where there were like 8 captains, like for example Pompeyo was one of the captains, and you can like kind of select your team, you know. Obviously sometimes you may not have like the pick you wanted, but at the end of the day you do have like quite a lot of choice, and I think it could be interesting. Like imagine there would be like a team format like that, but like hosted by Supercell, maybe with like a live finals or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not for Worlds, because I mean
exactly, like just an event, I mean,
but maybe like a special event to test something. Like I think you can do that with Determined Hub actually. Like we go back to that idea, and it sounds even better when we're talking about this, because Tournament Hub is like allows every single thing to happen. Like if you do like, I don't know, like qualifying tournaments and then go into a draft-based team format, the Tournament Hub is perfect for it, because it's not like official CRL. Basically anyone can do that, and if Supercell tries to do it, then they can do it like unofficially. They can do it as a side event from CRL. They can do a lot of things, and honestly that's a really good idea. I actually like it, like that's a field based draft system. Maybe improve it a little bit more, because I think that Safio was a very wonky draft. It wasn't really good of a draft. of a draft system. But yes, I think they can definitely prove it, and it's really fun. It's really fun, actually. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying like the exact same format, but just like the idea of like having
of drafting
X
people.
amount of persons who like actually deserve to qualifying, and then just like make different teams.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be interesting.
Yeah, no, Shergot here. Thank you for 15 bits. Which country would like to be the host of the CRL World Finals? I will pass this question to you guys. Which country do you think Worlds is going to be hosted?
Personally, like, I don't know. It's just because I would love to visit the country one day, maybe in Japan. And I feel like the Japanese community is also huge. So I feel like a lot of people would be like in the live event. And I don't know. Personally, when there's like a lot of people, the atmosphere is really nice and I like it.
Yeah, I mean, Japan is insane. Like, community is insane. It's a really big community, and it's a really like. I really wish to go to Japan as well, so that would be really fun. I think they already did Japan in 2018, so they can repeat it definitely. True. They can like definitely repeat it. Obviously, I would also love to like have a Worlds in Mexico, because imagine a Worlds in Mexico, the audience would be insane. But yes, like I hope it's Japan. I also hope maybe Mexico. I don't think so, because it's really difficult to host events in Mexico. But hopefully one day, so we can have like insane audiences. But yes, Endi, what do you think?
I mean, personally, I hope that we stay in Europe just for traveling there. I mean,
you don't want to go to Japan?
And you need to travel.
If Supercell pays for it, I'll go to Japan, you know? I'll go anywhere.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll go pay for it, but, you know, if I have to pay for it myself, yeah, hopefully in Europe, it would be cool, like maybe Germany or Spain or London, I don't know, France.
I mean, but whatever, if you can travel like anywhere, you don't have like any restrictions, like money or anything, where do you want it to be?
I'll take a Los Angeles finals, because people want like a LAN in USA, or maybe like a Dallas, I don't know, like
in the US.
Yeah, I guess I'll make the North America. Really.
Okay.
Because
I mean, I think they already hosted twice, right?
Yeah, Los Angeles was twice already.
Yeah.
Wait, twice? I think only once. Like,
no, only once. Yes, only once.
Ah, once?
Yeah,
okay.
Only once. I mean,
I guess the CRL season.
Yeah, the entire season
like the
was
finals.
in Los Angeles as well.
Exactly.
So it felt like a long time.
Yeah.
But yes.
So I'll ask you guys. I guess because viewers also wanted. How was it living in Los Angeles and competing in that schedule? How was the CRL team schedule? I guess for you guys, was it good? Or?
For me, I loved it. Like looking back at it, I don't know. It was just so fun because obviously, like what we love is competing. Like we were able to compete. We were able to play the game we love, and at the same time, you're with people. Like, well, at least in my case, like I had really good friends around me. I was with people which I had a really good time. So it was not only like competing, like it was just like everyone had like the same dream. We were just like supporting each other, practicing a lot. But at the same time, we were also enjoying, you know, like obviously I think it's important to also like go out. Like some weekends, maybe we went to another team's house to, I don't know, let's say like barbecue, maybe go to the beach and stuff like that. So like looking back at those like moments and that time, it was definitely one of the best times in my life. Like it was so fun. Besides like competing, as I said, like which was really fun, but just the experience like itself was really, really nice.
Yeah.
And I was in LA for only one season, but it was like the best season that I had in CRL. Like honestly, like it's so amazing to have like you know, teammates that you live in, like that you live with. Playing CR every single day, like practicing. This is what we love, and especially like competing, then like getting along with like other teams. I really remember those times when we went to like the tribe house, like 5 different teams, and we played like a lot of things. We had like barbecues, we had a lot of things. It was so fun. It was really so fun, and I hope to see that again. I don't think teams are gonna be back, but like those are like one of the best memories I have in CRL. Those and the 2020 Chivas ones, because Chivas was together. It wasn't in a studio or anything, but we were together and it was really fun as well. But yes, like being with teammates that play CR every single day, and also like getting along with like every single team with like, I don't know, it was like 60 people total that play CRL from 12 different teams. It was insane. It was quite of an insane experience, and I really, really loved it.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Pompeyo, but like personally, like talking about like motivation, like nowadays, And if I look back then, like I was playing all day long.
Yeah,
Like I
exactly.
would wake up, play Clash. If we talk about something, most of the times it was about Clash Royale. And like right now, most of the times when I play, it's like for content.
Yeah,
Like
exactly,
sometimes I
exactly.
do practice or sometimes I do like play in my free time, but most of the times I do it when I like create content. So I think also like motivation wise, like if you have like that, how to say, like schedule, like I think it helps so much.
And you have your teammates like with you playing Clash
Exactly.
as well. Like
Yeah.
everyone motivates each other, and it's like
Exactly.
one common goal. They want to win the league, and they will do anything to go for it. And it's something that you love. Nowadays, it's like more content-wise. It's more like playing for content. Sometimes you play for fun as well. I also play for fun as well. I play a lot of Clan Wars as well. So yes, I really like those. But yes, it's a really fun experience. Honestly, it's like something that nobody like I don't know, like nowadays nobody can like replicate because it's impossible.
Exactly.
But
Yeah, I definitely like. I feel like that. Like, if you ask any of the ex-pro players that competed, or like former players that competing in the teams format, I definitely think like most of them will say that. Just the experience of like living in the same city with your friends and living in one house and practicing. I definitely think that's a good experience.
Yep.
And something which I think a lot of the the newer, I guess, generation of pros don't really know. I think like even when we went to Finland, there wasn't a lot of like scrims between players. Like there used to be in the teams era.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I remember like back in the days, we had like, I don't know, 3-4 scrims a day,
Yeah.
in the morning, in the afternoon, and night, because also like you work with different time zones, because obviously there was like CRL West, but then we would maybe play against like CRL Asia,
Oh, against Asia,
where
yes, of course.
like the time zone obviously was really different, so you try to like adapt, and there was just so many practice, so many moments where you like scream and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know, it was really nice.
A really fun
Yeah.
experience, yeah. Playing with like CRL Asia was like really good as well, because you would like wake up and do like immediately screams, because they will be like awake until like I don't know, like 9 a.m. for you, and you need to like wake up earlier, and you need to
Yeah.
play like you played like 7-8 hours straight Clash Royale, and you weren't tired. Like honestly, you weren't like, oh, I'm like I already played too much, because you're surrounded with people that also play, people that love the game, and you have a common goal, and this motivation doesn't come anymore. Like there's really few people with that motivation nowadays, because now it's
Yeah.
really difficult to get like individual like practices and everything. Like it's easy, but like for that amount of time and those many screams, it's really difficult, because you don't have the motivation that you had before.
Yeah. Definitely. I think people now just are more like secret when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it is a little bit sad to see, but kind of talking a bit about some questions or predictions that we got sent through the Intel account. I mean, we talked most about this, but if you can name one player which you think will make World Finals this year, or like kind of a new superstar, if we can say, which player would you guys name?
A new person that didn't that wasn't in Worlds last year.
Yeah, I mean, it can be a new person that wasn't in Worlds, or just even somebody that didn't perform that well. I think just a name, I guess, that you think will do good for CRL 2023.
Look, there is a few people that like come to mind, but I think like me as Mexican, I really get along with him. I think Bedfast is gonna do like really well next year. He's one of the more underrated players, and I hopefully you can see him in Worlds, because I really think he has a lot of talent.
And Serge?
I don't know, to be honest, that's a good question. Like, I don't know about anyone who's like really underrated right now, which should be in Worlds. I'm gonna think a bit, and later I will tell you, okay?
For example, Vitor in the chat right now. Vitor is in the chat now. He says Adriel.
I mean,
So,
yeah, Adriel, yeah, true. He's
Adriel
really
is
good.
really underrated as well.
Actually,
He's-
and that's a Fio.
yeah.
Like, I don't know how many games he played, but he was the one with the best win rate on my team, which was me, Victor, and Lucas. And I think he had a win rate of like 75%, and he played like amazing. He played really good.
I mean, he was like
Yeah.
one stage away from Worlds, and he didn't get in because of the visa problem.
Exactly, because the visa.
That sucks. That sucks.
But I
but
remember
yes.
when he qualified to CCGS, but like he had, I don't know how old he was back in the day.
I mean,
then
and
the
also
photo-
he's not specifically new. Like he's not new
Exactly.
like in the scene
Yeah.
because we already seen him from like 6 years ago almost.
Yeah.
But yes.
Bar and OG, you will definitely remember the name and him, like his dad giving,
Yeah.
his image. That's also another thing which I can get out. Like his dad is very supportive of him, which is pretty cool to see. A parent support his son like that.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. I think that's
Yeah, I mean, to be
really
honest, I feel like it's pretty important. Like, personally, I feel pretty lucky because I feel like my family always were like really supportive with like playing, with like competing, doing content and stuff like that. I think it definitely is like a pretty big, how to say, like factor. I don't know if that's the right word. Because obviously, if you have like supportive parents and like people who like support and love you, obviously, I feel like you're gonna like do better, because I feel like if they don't support the idea of you, for example, competing or playing, you're gonna like, even if you don't think about it, you're gonna have it like in your mind, like sometimes.
Yeah. It's definitely very cool to see that.
Yeah, exactly.
But then, let's see. I guess people wanted to talk a little bit about Russian and the Chinese players playing again in CRL.
Yep.
I mean, if you guys, I think that they should be allowed. To be honest with you, like, I don't think that, and this is a touchy subject, but I don't think that it's fair for the Russian or Russian like Lapo and Igor, most notably, to not compete in CRL.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think that you know, it's also a little bit weird because in some competition, Russian players have been allowed to play the first stage of the qualifiers,
Yeah.
but then when it comes to the later stages, which like are going to be streamed, then they're told like, hey, you can't play, which I think is also a little bit unfair. Like if you let him play and he qualified,
Exactly, let's play everything.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, like why disqualify
Honestly,
them?
it's a very political like question. Honestly, it doesn't like depend on us, or maybe even on Supercell themselves, like because it's way
Yeah.
more political. I think the Russian like stuff is way more political. The Chinese one is kind of interesting because it's like they play in a different server, so they're basically not allowed, but they technically can. Like they can use VPNs and play
Yeah.
in the regular server. I think LCOP already does it. Higher does it as well in top ladder. So I don't see why they shouldn't, like why they wouldn't. But yes, I think the other side, like the Russian aspect, is more political because of what's happening, and that I think it's not on their like it's not specifically their like they can't do anything about it. I think, at least for now.
Yeah, I feel the same. I mean, obviously, I would love to see them compete, especially Igor. Like he's a really good friend of mine. But at the end of the day, I think it's something out of our control. Like obviously everyone can have like their opinion, but I think it's just like Supercell's decision at the end of the day. So if they decide it, like we just gotta respect it. So I don't know. And also coming back about the player, I was thinking a little bit, and I think one of the players which didn't really like pop off yet, but is really really good is Sosa. I think we could I think we could see him do pretty well in the next year.
Oh yeah, Sosa is kind of amazing in top ladder as well. By the way, Osher God, thank you for 15 bits. Do you think best of 3 duels should stay as the only format? They can implement the card ban feature or bring the BO5 back? I think best of 3 duel is fine. I think, in my opinion, duel is fine. It's a good format actually. It brings out like a lot of good things from coaches and also from the players. So I think it's a really balanced format nowadays. Bans are fine for like different competitions, maybe not for CRL. I don't really like bans myself. And best of 5 is just like way too much. Like if you do a best of 5 duel, it's way too much cards that like go out.
Yeah.
And if you do a best of 5 regular like match, then it's like there is no duel, so you lose.
Exactly, like people can just like repeat the cards. So yeah, I think the same. I think I agree with what you said, Pompeyo. I think duels, I like it. Like watching them, and also as a player, like playing duels. I think it's a fun format. And as you said, it also rewards like good deck picks, like coaches helping and stuff like that. So I like the format of best of 3 duels.
I think a lot of people were skeptical when they were like first started, but now it's like people like them, and I agree, people like them a lot.
I think Seth or Runham, I think he pushed for it, so it's one of his fine creations.
Yeah,
definitely.
Nice. He was one of the.
Now that
he was way ahead of his time.
Yeah, he was. He definitely had a lot of
Yeah.
ideas. Now that he's left, I definitely do miss him a little bit.
Yeah, I think we'll miss like Seth Ramham.
He definitely
Like back
was.
in the days, people were like hating on him, and then like you know the typical meme, like you don't realize what you had until they leave you or
Yeah,
until they
exactly.
left. I feel like that right now.
Yeah, I think everyone like feels like this way.
Yeah.
I think like he was very passionate. Not to say that the current community managers aren't, or like the devs, but like you could definitely feel that as he came from the community. Because
Mhm.
before caster, and then obviously when we went to CRL, he moved like 2018. He moved to his role as a community manager, and now he works as like a dev. And I think like he oversees the Clash Royale IP as a whole. So he's definitely had a great career, but definitely missed when it comes to the Clash Royale side. I think that while there were some like the draft, the triple draft in CRL, that maybe wasn't
Mhm.
it, but um, there definitely were cool things done by him. Um, I mean, one last thing from the community that we haven't talked about is the lower age requirements. Do you guys think that players that are 15 or 14 should play in CRL?
I mean, I don't know. It depends on the situation, but if we're gonna see like LAN events, I remember. I don't know if it was US, like when there were finals. I think everyone had to be like 18, just because of like legal, how to say, like rules.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like personally, I wouldn't mind. Obviously, I have nothing against it, but I think the main reason why, for example, Supercell or like CRL or anyone who like made the decision was mainly because of the legal rules about that, like about like competing on camera, filming, and stuff like that. Like I don't remember exactly, but I do remember like asking them.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
it's maybe like a rights issue as well. Like
Exactly.
I don't know. Then your parents need to get involved and stuff like that. The laws
Yeah.
also money. I don't know how it would work, like in terms of the prize pool. So
Yeah.
it's like a
I think
weird.
different countries have their different rules, and it's something like they said, oh, only 16 and up because every single country like accepts 16 and up people to receive like money. Whereas
Yeah.
if you do like 15 or 14, like you need to have a specific rules for like I don't know if he's like from a different country, then it's like I think it's a legal thing. Like I would honestly love to see like 14, 15-year-olds, especially back in my days when there were like way more 15 and 14-year-olds. I think nowadays there's only a few people which aren't like allowed to play CRL. I
Yeah.
actually can't remember. I think Starlight and maybe Sosa are not 16, but that's like the only players that I know that are not 16. So yes, I have nothing against them. I would definitely love to see them play, but I don't know if it's something legal, if it's something that they say just because they want to avoid that legal thing. But hopefully we get to see them play as well.
Yeah, I guess we'll just have to see what happens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, you guys want to, answer some questions by myself, by the greatest mind in Clash Royale?
What do you mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll ask a couple questions and then we can end it, I guess.
Ah, yeah, sure.
Yeah, of course, of course. Guys, if you have any questions in the chat, si tienen alguna pregunta en el chat, ya casi nos vamos a ir, así que gente, es su momento para preguntar un poquito por aquí. Si tienen algo que preguntar, traducimos la pregunta y luego les respondemos también con la traducción. If you guys have any questions, you can tell them in the chat. We're gonna leave soon, so if you have anything like any questions, any suggestions, anything that you want that you guys wants to say before we leave, you're more than invited to go in the chat and tell them.
Shoot your shot, man.
I mean, the holiday tree is really good. It's actually really good. Facherito.
I'll ask you guys, what's it called? A question. What is your favorite teammate from CRL Teams?
Oh, my favorite teammate.
Yeah,
Good question.
That's a really good question, actually.
I mean, I think the teammate which I had like the most moments and time shared with was Canario, just because we were playing 2v2 together and we also shared like an apartment. So I guess just because of that, because like besides like the other teammates, like I never had any problems with with one of my teammates, and I love all of them. But I guess just the fact like that we always were like practicing together, playing 2v2 on stage and stuff. I guess like we just got like a little bit closer because of that.
Right.
Yeah, I think for myself, I'm really thinking, but I am in between two people. I think Adrian Piedra is like amazing. I was with him for like an entire year, and he's one of the best teammates I could ever have. Like he's so supportive. He's like really fun as well. And also Diego B. He's really good. He's really fun as well. We were the 2v2 in the last season, and we did like really well. I really enjoyed like practicing with him. He's a really fun person. So I'm in between like Adrian Piedra and Diego B, because they're one of the best teammates I've ever had.
Shout out Diego and Adrian, man.
Yeah, shout out to them. They're amazing. They're asking me, when do I get a creator code? Hopefully soon. Ojalá que pronto venga el código. Hopefully soon I'll get a creator code. But yes.
¿Ya estás cerca o no?
¿Mm?
Que si ya estás cerca del código o no sabes aún.
No tengo ni idea, ojalá esté cerca. Hopefully I'm close to the code.
Yeah.
2022.
Yeah, but yes. Well, I didn't, no compartí equipo con Rockstar ni con Arantos ni con Betfass. Por eso digo, de CRL por equipos, pues ellos dos. Igualmente pues estaría lindo por ahí, pero bueno, Rockstar no tiene mucha pinta. I think Rockstar is gonna play competitive. But yes, I think we can close it out here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Been a really fun podcast, an hour and 30 minutes, kind of. Thank you guys once again for joining my channel, for joining the CRL podcast. Surgical, you're insane. Thank you very much for being here. Gracias.
No, thanks to you. Gracias a ustedes. Thank you guys so much for the invitation. I had a lot of fun, and if you guys want to repeat in the future, just let me know, because I love talking about these type of things.
Yeah, especially we can get even more people maybe another time, so we can like speculate more and like talk more about other things. Endi?
Yeah, I mean, thank you guys obviously for being here. Thank you to everybody that watched. And I'm sure, we can obviously do more of these. Hopefully more people will be down to join and talk about it. Maybe something when CRL drops some news. So hopefully that can be soon and we can give a reaction. I think that could be cool by the community. But yeah, just overall, thank you to everybody for being here. Gracias a todos.
Nice. Let's go.
Yes, español. Nice.
Good Spanish, man. Let's go. Thank you, Endi, for joining the channel, for being here with us in this Intel podcast. You're the GOAT, Endi. So you guys, thank you very much. And this is it, the CRL podcast number 2, the second podcast that we ever do. Hope there's even more of them. And thank you guys for joining. I will see you guys later today in my channel. If you guys want to like watch later today, we're gonna have a special competition, the Galaxy Cup Holidays Edition. It's gonna be really fun. And before you guys go, Surgical, Endi, do you want to plug any socials, anything? If you guys want like people to follow you?
Just CRL.
Just follow CRL Intel. That's really important. Follow CRL Intel on Twitter. Sigan a CRL Intel en Twitter. Son los GOATs de toda la información de la CRL. Si quieren saber más de CRL.
Yo solamente quería decir que gracias otra vez por la invitación y también a todos por todo el apoyo siempre, porque también vi ahí mucha gente en el chat, así que os quiero mucho y ya pues nos vemos.
There we go. So, gente, al ratito estaremos en directo justamente en la Galaxy Cup Holidays Edition, así que gente, espero que estén por ahí listos. Thank you very much, Endi. Thank you very much, Surgical, for joining this special stream. This has been the Intel podcast number 2. I'll see you guys later, and thank you very much for joining. Bye, guys. Let's go.
See you.
Bye.